In this video, I want to go over addressing the out of sync message in the ProCurrency wallet. It is a problem that can result from a number of things. Now, this is my wallet and I've been zipping right along for months. Pretty soon it'll be a year. And so I hope that you will take this video, go through it thoroughly and completely. If you need to revisit something, you can pause the video, you can go back. But this video will help all of us save a lot of time by step seeking to address our wallet issues and taking care of it ourselves, and then knowing that we can share this video with others so that you don't have to help them through it, or if you have a team of hundreds or thousands, you're not there taking all your time to fix wallet issues. I'm going to make this video what I feel could certainly be followed easily. So let's begin. The very first thing I want to address, if you have the out of sync message, which I don't have it, but it is red text, that would be right here to the right of the word balance. It'll say out of sync. What that means is that you are not up to date with the blockchain ledger, the public ledger. And so you get synced with that database in a peer-to-peer network. So for example, down here, you'll see that I have 26 active connections to the ProCurrency network. That means I'm constantly sending and receiving data from other peers on the network to update my blockchain file. So it's important to stay in sync if you want to have the benefit of receiving coins for putting up your coins as a stake. Now, let's go over the most common problems, and there could be more because, let's face it, computers are a pain. And because of that, it's pretty obvious they're never going to take over the world, right? Anyways, but let's go through these things step by step so we can make sure we can stay in sync and benefit from that. The first thing that I see is people not having the latest version of the wallet. You can determine the version of the wallet you're using by looking at this text down here in the bottom left corner. This is version 1.3.2. This is the most current for the current date. You can also find that version under Help right here by clicking on About ProCurrency, and you'll see the version here. Okay. Now, if you don't have the latest version, or if you sense you don't have the latest version, you can always check what you're running. Go to a browser and you want to type in procommerce.io. This is the website for the ProCurrency project, and you can see the various wallets right here. So in this case, we're running a Windows machine, so we would click on that to download the wallet. Now, if you notice that link underneath, it says github.com, etc. What I want to do next is show you that site. This is a common site for development of different open source software where people share and develop. Now, what we see here, there is actually a new wallet version that has not made it out there. Fantastic. So what we'll do is come back to that, and we will actually update the wallet with this newest version. So you see that, again, just a quick recap. In the wallet, we see we are running 1.3.2. So we're going to come back to this updating the wallet at the end of this video because that's not really the out of sync issue. but you do want to make sure you have the most recent version. Okay. Next is the wallet is locked. People are very security conscious in today's global digital world, which is why cryptocurrency is so valuable, because it is more secure. But what people have done is they've locked their wallet, and when it's locked, it will not connect to the network. You'll have to go to the settings and then into the encrypt wallet, where you'll have to put in your passphrase, which hopefully you wrote down when you first entered that, and you'll be able at that time to choose to unlock your wallet. You can encrypt a wallet, but you cannot lock a wallet and continue to put your coins up for staking. If you're not connected to the network, then you will be out of sync. So that being the second reason why I have seen wallets out of sync, we'll move on to the third. Now, the third thing that I've seen, which is also common, is people's Pro wallet or the executable file does not have access to the network through the computer's own firewall or security system. So what we need to do to make sure that that is added to the firewall, come down here to the Windows button. This is Windows 10. You'll have to find it. It's very similar on all of the different versions of Windows. In this case, I can actually type it here at the top. And when we see this, allow an app through the Windows firewall, that's what we're actually looking for. Now, I see a lot of people that have older versions of Windows, or for whatever reason, it's a different layout. It's possibly different because of the different computer manufacturers or marketers. But in that case, what you want to do is go to the Update and Security. Then you go to the Windows Defender, open the Security Center, click on the Firewall and Network Protection, and then you can see this, allow an app through the firewall. Now there's many places that you can find this link, but you do have to go through some pathway to get to it. Okay, so this is the window that we really want to have open. And what you do first is you can scroll down until you see Pro Currency. In here you'll see this, or you might see the Qt file. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that anywhere where this is listed like that, you have both of these check boxes. If you don't, you'll have to possibly click the change settings so you can modify it. And here you'll see this is that Qt that I just mentioned. You want to make sure that you can modify it, make sure they're all checked, and then click OK. If you had some of those boxes that did not have checks in them, that could solve your connectivity problem. And so what I would do if you saw that, I would close the wallet, restart it, and give it some time to see if the syncing begins to increase. And what I mean by increasing, see right here we see the out of sync, and we see kind of a white candy stripe here. Now what happens is sometimes when it's out of sync, it's way back, and you'll see that white progress go ahead and complete. So if you correct the firewall issue, come back and you see the syncing taking place, then you have solved it. Now, another problem that I've seen with people is antivirus. It's the same principle as the firewall. The software is looking to prevent software on your computer communicating with other computers out there on the network. So I'm unable to address all of the various antivirus softwares. But essentially you want to open it up, find where it's protecting your computer from network traffic or firewall, and you want to make sure that you add an exception to the Pro Currency software. So now, if those things have failed you, then what I definitely want to say to you at this point is it's time to be a little bit more aggressive. The very first thing I would do is I would back up your wallet And you do that by clicking File. Yes, I mean do this right now if you're watching this video and following along. Don't skip this step. Click this Backup Wallet. I like to save it right to my desktop, and I just leave it there, Wallet Backup, and I overwrite that file. And then if you want to be better safe than sorry, the thing to do then is to actually open up your email, compose an email to yourself. And what you do is attach that wallet file to the email, and then I'm going to send that on its merry way, and I will actually have everything I need to restore my wallet on any computer in my email. There we go. So that is essential to backing up your wallet, knowing how to make sure it is safe and protected. Okay, so now we're going to go into what I consider a little more drastic, and I almost think it should be partly coupled with the way that I do an installation, because I've seen people get very confused between zip files, directories, files, download files, where to save it, etc. And so what I'm going to do now is do something that would be very drastic, but I'm going to close the wallet. You see it's no longer has a yellow line under it, or it's no longer open here if you don't have it pinned to this taskbar. But now what I'm going to do is I need to delete all of the files in my ProCurrency directory to give it kind of a restart. If you have followed the way that I install the software, you should have a ProCurrency folder like this here on your desktop. That is not the folder that we need to go to. What we need to do is go either here to the search, Cortana, or if you have Windows 8 and it has that big screen that comes up with all of those buttons on it, you can do a search with the word run, and you'll come up with the actual run window, and you would type the same thing in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in app data with the % at the beginning and the end. Click enter, and you can see the directory path up here. This is obviously not the desktop. And once we're here in the roaming directory, we want to go to the ProCurrency and double click. Now, when you backed up your wallet, you actually backed up this file to your desktop. If you remember, when I attached it to the email, it was a little over 2 megabytes. What I want to do is I actually want to delete all of these files. Okay, just completely wipe them out. I'm not going to do that because my wallet's just humming along, sorry. But just literally delete them so that all you have remaining is the wallet file. There's nothing to fear in this step, okay? If you even leave that window open, when you restart your wallet after doing that, you'll actually see all of these directories and files reappear as the wallet starts, because the wallet is reading. This is the blockchain file. You can see it's huge now. It's 137 megabytes. So that is constantly compiling and downloading, and so it'll instantly start writing over these files again when you open the wallet. Okay, so that is a drastic step, but once you delete all those files and you put the wallet back up, and there we see it go out of sync briefly, you should be fine. those are the 5 steps that I would take to making sure that your wallet stays in sync. Now, the only other thing that I would say it could be, which I can't fix, and that would be your connectivity to the internet. You saw that I dropped the connection and the out of sync came. If you're operating your computer through a mobile phone, or you have a slower internet connection, or even a connection that in the evening when people come home and they're streaming videos or whatever, you may see that out of sync because your internet speeds are slow, your download speeds are slow. And so you may see that. It's not real serious. You're just not going to have the constant connection that someone else will have, but it's nothing to fear. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to do was upgrade to the newest version of the wallet. So the first thing we do to upgrade to the newest version of the wallet is we have to close the wallet. Okay, I no longer see a yellow bar under this icon, and I don't see the pro currency symbol stay. You see how it was there, showed it was running, and it just disappeared. Okay, now that that is completely off, we want to go to the ProCommerce website, or you can go to GitHub there, and you just download the operating system that you have. I'm going to let this download, and I'll come back to you as soon as it's done. Okay, so you see we're very close to finishing the download here. 44.9 out of 45.3 megabytes. And what I want to bring out with this is that I'm using Google Chrome. If you're using Firefox or Internet Explorer or Safari, they all have different ways of indicating like downloaded files. But the operating system also tends to have all downloaded files by default go to a folder called Downloads. So if we were to open up a Windows Explorer, we see the downloads right here, okay? And this is the file that we just downloaded. This step to me is important, and it's something I, really want to encourage you to do. What I do is I like to have my pro currency files here on my desktop. So remember, this is version 132. This is 133. There's not a overwriting of the files because they're named different directories, right? So now this is a zip file. And it's something that we have to open and extract the files out so that we can use them. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to click on this zip file and I'm going to drag it out here to the desktop. Perhaps another way to have done that, I could have clicked it and dragged it to the desktop here. I like to have my windows so I can move them around and see behind them. If you don't know how to do that, you have a minimize, a close, and you have this one in the middle. And you see that can make it all the way, or it can turn it into a window. Just in case you wonder how I did that. All right, so now we have the pro currency zip, you see the zipper on it, on the desktop. What we need to do now is unzip it. So in most cases, you'll be able to right click the file and you should be able to do something like extract all, move files here, different verbiage, but the concept is you're taking the files out of a zip folder into the directory that it's in. So I'm going to put extract all, and here it asks me select a destination. What this is showing me, it's going to be on the desktop, and I'm going to use this suggested folder name. Click extract, and now I have this directory on the desktop. Okay. At this point, I can delete the zip folder to keep things clean and easy to understand. But now I also have two separate folders here, right, with the program in them. Now, they both have what we call an executable file, and that is this ProCurrency Qt file here. When that's double-clicked, it opens up the wallet. Now, we also have a Qt in this. So that could be an issue. What we want to do is to delete the 1.3.2 since we're no longer going to be using it. And remember, I backed up the wallet, so it's not an issue to delete that. And now I have my new ProCurrency, but there's one last step I need to take before I restart my wallet. This shortcut that I pinned to the taskbar was connected to version 1.3.2. So I'm going to right click, unpin that from the taskbar. Now I'm going to go into version 1.3.3. I'm going to double click this so it opens the wallet, and this is a great thing to run into. So what's happening is Windows Defender is protecting me from software that is not identified, okay? So in this case, if you click Don't Run, it's not going to allow the software to open. So instead, we're going to click More Info, and it shows you which app is trying to connect to the internet, and you'll see the publisher unknown, but we want to select Run Anyways. This is that Windows Defender firewall that often is a problem because people don't stop and check both of these before allowing access. So if you see this window, make sure you select both of these and click Allow Access. So now we have what we see down here in the bottom left-hand corner, version 1.3.3. So this is the newest version. And what I want to do now to make sure this icon stays there, I'm going to right-click. I'm going to click Pin to Taskbar. So now that icon will stay there when I close the software. All right, so I can close that. So now remember, I've got this staying here. I've got this icon, which basically is like double clicking on that file in here. And then I've got that ProCurrency directory in the roaming folder, which I don't need to access. There it is. We've gone over a number of things that prevent you from syncing with the network, and I've showed you what I feel is a flawless way to install a wallet so that you don't have the out of sync, so that your files are organized, easy to find. Happy mining!